Peace. I have a perspective again. Do you ever find it interesting? And this is yet again going to go back to programming and honestly not people pleasing because I feel like everything kind of goes back to full circle. Once you find like your confidence and you work through your triggers and your inner demons, which we're always going to have those because that's living life and that's growth. But when, let's say, for instance, you're around family and they're always welcoming to you, but they're more welcoming just to be nosy and see where you're at, and they're nice to you in front of your face, yet you know they're gossiping behind your back because they'll do little condescending things in front of you, and it's not you being insecure or paranoid. It's literally like what the where'd the fuck that come from? Like and it's literally feeling and knowing, you know? But isn't that interesting how even though people want to gossip, I mean, it can be family, it can be close friends, it can be people you work, I mean, whatever way you want to look at it. For me, I'll do family. Um, and I've had this experience, because usually when I talk about this stuff, it's experiences, but it's interesting because I am one of three sisters. And you go over there and everyone's all nice, and I will add, I've always openly expressed how I felt. I've been called sensitive, but I don't get like butthurt anymore. Like I don't victimize myself and like feel like an outcast. Now I'm just like, oh, okay, I see where their headspace is at, and I see where I am, and then what can I do to work on myself? Because I love it. It's like it's fun to work on myself. So if something triggers me, I'm like, yes, I'm growing. But I just came across this experience with one of my sisters, and she was actually, I caught her talking to my other sister actually when I was there, and it, we'll just say, to make it nice, gossiping about me. And it was talking not nice about me, and it was interesting because it's like, for one, what's the point? Because is that what family's supposed to be about? Oh, hey, we're here, we're going to support you, we're here, but let me be fake in your face and let me talk about you behind your back. Like, honestly, what does that say about that person? You know, and then you work through yourself. But why do you think we do that in life? Like, why do you think that programming is taught? I mean, isn't that interesting how we're taught that from an early age, and it's not even having boundaries or self-love because we're taught that it's okay for family to be shitty. It's not like anyone's encouraging. It's not like, I don't, tough love, I don't even think, you know, whatever, it's perspective and to each their own. But what is the point? Like, and then after you find out, you're like, well, if people are talking bad, because I've been in that place too. I'm not gonna shit. I ain't perfect, but I can admit shit for real. But what is the point? Because I know when I used to do it, it was out of insecurity or gossip because then I could have something in common with this person. So hey, kind of like a Mean Girls thing. Let's just all talk about her and laugh and see what she's doing, and then act all nice, and then behind her back, let's gossip. And it's kind of weird. And I get the path, and I'm feeling like a victim about it, but I'm kind of rambling on. But do you ever see how you might partake in that, or you might have that done to you? I mean, I've been on both sides. Like, that's part of life. You know, you understand the dark to understand the light. You wouldn't know the dark if you didn't go through it. You wouldn't understand the light if you didn't have the dark to express. It's all beautiful. But it gets to the point when you're like, you know, is it my energy's not like that, or my conscious level? Because I'm not in that part where that's fun. Like, that's not fun. And I do find it, and I don't feel like, oh, poor me, or I don't feel like, oh, I'm just so different, I don't make friends easy. I mean, I can talk to anyone about anything. But I do realize a lot that I like to talk in depth about things, and I have like a different kind of conversation, which is to each their own. But I do realize I don't want to be repetitive. I don't want to be victimizing myself. I don't want to be gossiping. And I realize for me, that's around a whole lot. And I do find myself more secluded. Not because I fear anyone, because I get like sitting at the table with your enemies. Nah, they're their own enemies. No one is even my enemy because it's all in your fucking head, really. I mean, anyone that wishes ill upon anybody is because they got an insecurity or enemy in themselves. And I get it. Been there, done that. And like no one's perfect, but the fact that you can keep working on yourself is what really matters, because we all make mistakes. That's the beauty of life. We get to change and make mistakes and grow from them and take accountability. But it is interesting that you sit at the table with people that there are their own enemies. Not necessarily I sit at the table with my enemies, but the ones that they are their own. But then when is enough enough? Because I find myself questioning, like, this is kind of weird. And I get there where they need to be, but like, what's my next step? I've taken myself away from almost everything that once was my life to where it's pretty much just me and my kids, and then whatever I come across. That's why I like nature a lot too. But I don't know. I can talk to random strangers and have a deeper conversation with them than I can people I've been around and forever, because I feel like they're stuck. And I'll use this vibe, the Matrix vibe, like, like, it's just not that big of a deal, really. Just, I don't know if anyone gets me, but lately I've been looking at this, and it's interesting just observing people and seeing how they do things, and then not victimizing yourself. And yet again, not even to feel like an outcast. Like I used to always feel like the black sheep and the outcast, because I did probably everything more fucked up, and they did everything the way they were told to do. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna do everything this way. But I learned a lot and I enlightened myself a lot. But when it comes down to it, I'm not stuck observing, conforming, and still playing the same movie or whatever over and over again. Now it's like, whoa. I'm just like, I don't know.